Town Board meeting to order and ask all those in attendance to rise and join me in the Pledge of Allegiance. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Roll call. Councilwoman Barnum.
Present.
Councilman Perdico.
Here.
Councilman Seeley.
Present.
Councilwoman Skrobach.
Present.
Supervisor Bello.
Here.
And attorney for the town.
Here.
Thank you.
Okay, the first order of business tonight, I'd like to call forward the town historian, Patricia Wayne, to give a presentation to the board, and we'll give a recognition tonight.
Before we do our recognition, I would like to tell some of the new board members a little history of the Preservation Commission. You can take notes, Lori.
Very good.
Lori was a student of mine, that's why I did that. The Preservation Board was set up by an ordinance in the year 2000. We have 7 members and 1 alternate. We are not only regulated by the ordinance, but by the rules of the National Park Service for preservation commissions, and also, of course, from the state agency, the Office of the Historic Preservation. We are a CLG, that means a Certified Local Government Bureau, which gives us aid from the Office of CLG, run by a friend of mine, Julian Adams. And if we need specific help, they are very generous about giving it to us. In order for a structure to be recognized as a historic structure, it must be 50 years old or older and had maintained its historic integrity. That means no plastic shutters, no add-ons, no nothing. Once it has been determined that it is eligible to be on the preservation list, it cannot be destroyed nor changed. The idea is to save some of our oldest and best structures. And we have over 20 structures now, including the town hall, that are on our preservation list. And we are now working on a very elaborate project to use part of St. Paul as a historic district. And it is a rather complicated process, but we hope to have it finished by spring. This brings me to my present presentation, a young gentleman whose home has been put on the historic preservation list. Chris Brandt is also a member of the Preservation Commission. No idea that he got special treatment. Chris?
No.
All right. So Christopher, we have the Preservation Commission and Pat Wayne and the town board want to present you with a certificate in recognition of your home located at 288 Wimbledon Road as an historic home that is now on the local historic registry.
Thank you so much.
Congratulations, and I want to say thank you,
Thank you.
For your efforts for preservation and preserving the history of Arundequoit. Pat and I talk all the time about all the history in our town and the historic nature of it, some of the homes that have been around for well over 100 years, and the old farmhouses and farming community, and just how special that is here in Arundequoit and the history that we have. So the efforts people had in residence to preserve that history is it should be commended. It's great work.
Thank you.
So I
Do whatever I can.
appreciate it.
Thank you.
And thank you, Pat, for all your work.
Okay.
So thank you. Okay. I have a number of announcements to make. We have, as we're entering the winter season, we have a number of events coming up in Arundequoit and around the community, and so I wanted to take just an opportunity here at the start of the meeting to go over a few upcoming events. First one is on December 7th at 4 o'clock. Is going to be the annual tree lighting ceremony, which is again hosted by the Irondequoit Historical Society. It's on Sunday, September 7th at 4 o'clock, right here at the Irondequoit Town Hall. This year there will be caroling from the Irondequoit Chorale. We'll have crafts here right inside Town Hall, hosted by the Girl Scouts. We'll have a very special visit from our friend in the North Pole, some other friends, as well as cookies and punch by the Historical Society. So I'd like to welcome the community here to Town Hall, again, this December 7th at 4 o'clock. I also want to give everybody a sneak preview, and hold on your calendars, on January 31st. We are known for our festivals in the town of Irondequoit. We're very proud of all the festivals that we have. So on just January 31st, I'm pleased to announce we will unveil our newest tradition, which will be the Irondequoit Winterfest. More details will come soon, but I want everybody to hold their calendar for January 31st, which is a Saturday from 12 to 4. We have some very exciting events and activities here at Town Hall that'll help break up those winter blues for us. So stay tuned for more details. This weekend, on Sunday, November 23rd at 3 o'clock, at the Irondequoit United Church of Christ, they'll be hosting a community Thanksgiving celebration. It's an event for the entire town. It'll feature the Irondequoit Orchestra, as well as other instrumental ensembles. I will be sharing some Thanksgiving remarks and well wishes, as will Debbie Evans, who's the director of the Irondequoit Community Cupboard. And we encourage all those who attend to please bring a canned or dried donation for the cupboard, as well as monetary donations will also be accepted for the food cupboard as well, to make sure that our neighbors and those in need have a happy Thanksgiving as well. So again, that's this Sunday at 3 o'clock. On December 20th is the annual Seabreeze Winter Parade, sponsored by the Seabreeze Fire Department and the Seabreeze Businessmen's Association. It features fireworks, refreshments, and food. Again, that is on December 20th. I also would like to announce a new initiative that we have, and a better way to communicate with our residents and let everybody know all the great things happening in town and updates. We've started a new initiative called Inside iTown. It's a new electronic newsletter that will be produced periodically to update you again on what's happening at Town Hall. The first episode was unveiled last week and featured Conservation Board member Kimmy Romeo with information on leaf disposal. Our Director of Development Services, Nick Weatherby, spoke about some new exciting developments happening around town. And Officer Andrew Whitaker talked about the police department's home check program, and it was very valuable information. I encourage you to visit the town's website at www.irondequoit.org and sign up to receive your monthly edition, but also look at ICAT Channel 12, and like I said, the town's website, Facebook, and Twitter, so that you can make sure to keep up to date and check out the latest episodes. Also, I think everybody's aware that Irondequoit's own Tracy Weinstein has been organizing a Souls for Souls fundraising event where she's collecting shoes, gently worn shoes from residents to be able to donate to some folks who need them overseas. And on November 30th, upcoming on November 30th from noon to 4, Tracy will be here at Town Hall collecting shoes, so we're hoping that you can please stop by and drop off any shoes that you're willing to donate. There are also available drop-off locations at the Pauline's Evan branch of the Irondequoit Public Library. And Tracy, we're very proud of her. There was a recognition in the Democrat and Chronicle for this just this past week, but we're incredibly proud. Her goal was to collect 25,000 pairs of shoes, and so far to date, she's received a stunning 16,660 pairs of shoes from our community. So it's just, we're incredibly proud to have her here in Irondequoit and all of her efforts. So if you still have shoes to be able to donate, please head to the Irondequoit Library or Town Hall on November 30th. I also wanted to announce as well that the Irondequoit Library Board of Trustees We'll have an opening at the end of this year on the board for a new term starting January 1st. So if there are residents interested in serving on the library board, this is obviously an exciting time to join the board and be a part of things. I would encourage you to please apply by sending a letter of interest and a resume to my office here at Town Hall no later than December 5th. And the board would be looking to act on an appointment at the December board meeting. So that's the announcements that we have, and I think we can move on to public input. We had 2 speakers signed up to address the board tonight. The first one is Stephanie Squiccerini, the president of the library board.
Thank you. Stephanie Squiccerini, 3360 Culver Road. Having the opportunity to serve as president of the library board during this exciting and transformational time for our library and our town has been one of the most rewarding things I've been fortunate to be a part of. Each time I pass by the town hall to see the physical progress on our new library, getting to see it literally rise up out of the ground, I am reminded of just how far we've come. Last night, the library board took some important steps toward developing a new long-range plan for our library, a plan that no longer needs to focus on how to maintain 2 aging facilities and balancing repair bills with the growing needs of our users. This new plan focuses on providing robust and improved services, collaborating with community groups, and measuring successes and future growth with increased input from residents. Besides being exciting, this type of planning is way more fun than trying to predict how much the next major repair is going to cost and what will have to be cut from our budget to pay for it. This place where we are became a reality thanks to the dedication, passion, and commitment of so many. And it is this dedication and commitment that will also help keep the cost of residence for our state-of-the-art library envy-producing new library as low as possible. Many of you already know about the most amazing group, the Friends of the Library. This group of volunteers works tirelessly on behalf of the library, raising money so that our staff can provide educational, fun, and diverse programming for all ages. The cost of these programs is not currently allocated in our operating budget. Were it not for the Friends of the Irondequoit Library and the funding they provide, we might not be able to offer the types of programs that residents have come to enjoy. The group that most of you may not yet be familiar with is the Irondequoit Public Library Foundation, but you will be very familiar with them very soon. The foundation was started by members of the Library Board of Trustees several years ago. While largely dormant until they had a project to help fund, through the vision and work of a new and invigorated core group, the foundation is now positioned to help the town and the Library Board meet the goal of minimizing the financial impact on residents to fund the realization of our new library. As we discussed during our multiple forums leading up to the referendum votes, the bond that was voted on was to cover primarily the construction of the building. It was deemed more fiscally responsible to not borrow money for the costs of fixtures, furnishings, and equipment for the full term of bonding. The funding for those items we vowed would be secured through aggressive fundraising. The Irondequoit Public Library Foundation is the group that is spearheading those efforts. Working closely with the Library Board of Trustees, the Foundation has launched a community-wide capital campaign to raise the necessary funds to furnish our new library, making it truly the library our community builds together. In addition to this capital campaign, the Town Board, the Library Board of Trustees, and the Foundation will be working together on securing grants to further assist in furnishing and outfitting our new library, while also reducing the bond amount as much as possible. Foundation President Elaine Cole will be sharing the details about the capital campaign this evening also. On behalf of the entire Library Board of Trustees, I want to thank the community for taking these exciting steps with us together as we work toward making our new library the best it can be. Thank you.
Thank you. The next speaker signed up is Elaine Cole.
Hello, I am the president of the Irondequoit Public Library Foundation. And as Stephanie said, several years ago, a group of very wise residents saw the day that that building out there would be going up. And they set out to establish the foundation to raise the money for what the library would need above and beyond what tax dollars provide. Today's library users want the latest and best computers, audiovisual equipment for our meeting rooms. Our teens want the latest in technical equipment to learn to compete in a very challenging job market. We need readers for our visually impaired patrons. And of course, since we're talking about a library, enough books to fill all these new shelves. The library board doesn't have the time or the resources to run a capital campaign, but the foundation does. We are qualified under 501c3 of the Internal Revenue Code, so contributions are tax deductible and all donors receive a written receipt. The foundation isn't running the campaign by itself. The committee, the fundraising committee, is composed of volunteers from the library board, the foundation board, and the community at large. As Stephanie said, all during the information sessions, we said the project would not be completely dependent on tax dollars, and that's what the fundraising committee is ensuring. So where is the campaign so far? As with any major capital campaign, there's 3 prongs. There's major gifts, grants, and a public appeal. So some of our committee members are working with major donors, those individuals in our town who have the ability and the commitment to the library to make especially significant gifts, and to those donors we are deeply grateful. We're working closely with the volunteers. We're working with the library board on grant requests because the board knows exactly what the library needs the most, and we are approaching both national charitable foundations, local institutions like banks as well. We're not leaving any stone unturned in our grant seeking, but the most exciting part to me is what we're kicking off today, and that is the community-wide appeal. Next week, in every mailbox, in every home in Arundecoit, will be this very attractive invitation to be a part of the campaign. Don't put it in your recycle bin. It's not junk mail. How to make a contribution by check, by credit card, online will all be in there. And let's not forget that the deduction deadline for taxes this year, December 31st, is coming up soon. So before you spend all your Christmas cash on Black Friday, write your check. If I could just have
Sure.
another minute, I want to tell you that we are very excited to have received a $100,000 installment of a bequest from the estate of Catherine Baylor, who was a library volunteer. $50,000 of that is already in the foundation's capital account. The other $50,000 is a match. So if someone contributes $1,000 to the campaign, it becomes $2,000. 25 becomes 50. Every dollar is appreciated in any amount. Let's not leave any of that grant money on the table, any of that match. And we've already received pledges and contributions from community members and people who have left town and don't even live here anymore and want to support our project. All contributions will be publicly acknowledged unless a donor wants to remain anonymous. We will respect people's privacy in not revealing the amount of a contribution, although we will from time to time report the overall progress of the campaign to the community. And let me close with this, because we're talking about a library, just can't resist this analogy. This is a new chapter in the book of our town. Thank you, Miriam.
Fantastic, thank you.
Building and the community activity that will be thriving inside it are going to make us very proud. I hope everyone will want to play a part in building it. Thank you.
Thank you, Elaine. Okay, was anyone else here who would like to address the board but did not have an opportunity to sign up beforehand? All right, seeing none, we'll close public input. Barbara?
Okay, next on the agenda is the financial report.
The financial picture as of October 31st, 2014. After 10 months, the town's expenses are less than the 83% of the year that has elapsed. The total expenditures of $23,698,000 equate to 75% of budget, indicating favorability for the town as a whole. The $13,773,000 of general fund expenses are also under budget at 75%. Collectively, the highway funds expenditures are below budget at 82.2%, a total of $4,687,000. Although the expenses in Highway 4 have leveled off and are now below budget, sizable encumbrances for installment, debt, and equipment parts remain in Highway 3. Highway 1 has notable reserved expenditures for gas and fuel. Expenditures in the other major funds are also below 83% of budget, the percent of the year that has elapsed. The library is at 75% of budget, $1,456,000. Sewer is at 67% of budget, $2,577,000. And stormwater drainage is at 44% of budget, $346,000. Revenue for the general fund. The general fund has received 81.5% of budget for a total of $14,892,000. In addition to the $10.5 million of real estate tax revenue, as of October 31st, the town had received 5 months of sales tax, $1,252,000, 3 months of mortgage tax, $114,000, 100% of state aid, $613,000, and 6 months of franchise cable TV revenue of $370,000. Regarding the other revenue line items, cemetery, fines and bail forfeitures, and other sources of revenue have received at least 83% of budget. The favorability in the other sources of revenue is driven primarily by property maintenance. It has recorded $272,000 of revenue. That's 151% of the $180,000 budget for that line item. The bails and fines revenue contains a one-time $100,000 code violations fine from the Medley Center. And an item of note, this week the town received over $1 million in sales tax for the third quarter, which will be reported next month and will undoubtedly improve the general fund and the town revenue picture. For the total town, $27.7 million, or 87.5% of revenue, has been received to date. The library has received 98.2% of its revenue, $1,894,000. $5,302,000, or 93%, has been recorded by the highway funds, and $3.8 million is in for sewer, 100.1% of that revenue. This concludes my financial report.
Great, thank you, Annie. Does anyone have any questions or comments about the financial report? Seeing none, I'd ask for a motion to approve the financial report. And
Second.
Second. All those in favor say aye. Aye. Any opposed, nay. Motion carries.
Approval of minutes, October 7th, 2014, the budget workshop meeting.
Can I have a motion? And a second.
Second.
Any questions, comments, or concerns? Seeing none, all those in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Any opposed, nay. Motion carries.
October 8th, 2014, budget workshop meeting.
Can I have a motion?
Moved.
And a second.
Second.
Any discussion? Seeing none, all those in favor say aye. Aye. Any opposed, nay. Motion carries.
October 9th, 2014, the workshop meeting.
Can I have a motion? And a second.
Second.
Any discussion? Seeing none, all those in favor say aye. Aye. Any opposed, nay. Motion carries.
October 9th, 2014, the budget workshop meeting.
Can I have a motion? And a second. Second. All those in favor, or any discussion first? All those in favor say aye. Aye. Any opposed, nay. Motion carries.
October 16th, 2014, the regular town board meeting.
Can I have a motion?
So moved.
And a second. Any discussion? Seeing none, all those in favor say aye. Aye. Any opposed, nay. Motion carries.
October 30th, 2014, a special town board meeting.
Can I have a motion? And a second?
Second.
Any discussion? All those in favor signify by saying aye. Aye. Any opposed, nay. Motion carries.
Item 11A, 2014-2, authorizing the capital improvement program for the town of Arundecoit for 2015 through 2020.
Can I have a motion? And a second?
Second.
Okay. The, just so the the public is aware, and those in the audience, the public hearing that we just skipped over is scheduled for 7:35, so we have to wait till then to go back to the public hearing. So we'll continue with the agenda till then. This resolution, we've discussed this at the last couple of town board gatherings. This is the capital improvement program for 2015, and I'm just going to brush upon a few highlights of this program. This is funded for next year. Does not include any new borrowing for the town of Arundecoit. So we won't be adding to the town's debt to be able to do these projects, but these are significant projects in town that I think will enhance the quality of life for our residents. The project includes $700,000 in road, sewer, and infrastructure repairs, $49,000 for a new columbarium at the Arundecoit Cemetery, $50,000 for new athletic fields, $100,000 for lodges at Camp Eastman, and $143,000 for upgrades to our various tot lot playgrounds that are located in neighborhoods throughout Arundecoit, as well as upgrades and repairs and enhancements to the spray park at Camp Eastman. Are there any comments, questions, or anything from the board? Seeing none, all those in favor say aye. Aye. Any opposed, nay. Motion carries.
Item 11A, 2014-3, authorizing the adoption of the 2015 Planning Board Workshop and Meeting Schedule.
Can I have a motion? And a second?
Second.
Okay, like the clerk just said, this is just a resolution that lays out the closing dates, workshop dates, and meeting dates for 2015 of the Town of Arundecoit's Planning Board meetings. And again, I know this will be published on the town's website and made available to the public. Any other questions or concerns from the board? Seeing none, all those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Any opposed, nay. Motion carries.
Item 11A, 2014-4, approving the 2015 Zoning Board of Appeals meeting schedule.
Can I have a motion?
Moved.
In a second. Okay, as the clerk stated, this is the resolution would approve the Zoning Board of Appeals, their 2015 meeting schedule. Their meeting schedule and their closing dates, you'll notice that the board will be meeting, continue to be meeting on the first Monday of each month here at Town Hall. Any other questions or concerns? Seeing none, all those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Aye. Any opposed, nay. Motion carries.
Item 11A, 2014-5, approving the 2015 Conservation Board meeting schedule.
Can I have a motion?
Moved.
And a second? All right, and again, this is the Conservation Board meeting schedule for 2015, sets the dates, which again will be made available to the public on the website, and the Conservation Board meets on the first Wednesday of the first Wednesday of each month, and I believe this is continuing their normal meeting schedule. Any questions or comments from the board? Seeing none, all those in favor say aye. Aye. Any opposed, nay. Motion carries.
Item 11A, 2014-6, authorizing approval for a contract with Strong Employee Assistance Program.
Can I have a motion? And a second? Okay, thank you. And I'm going to just ask our Human Resources Director, Beth Watrow, to just give a brief description of
The town of Arundecoit has been involved with an employee assistant program for many years. A year ago, we moved our program over to Strong, seeing the need for more services available. There is crisis intervention services here, along with training for our supervisors and any issues that any of our employees may have that they wish to go speak to somebody at the EAP program for. We also have a separate program for our police, but this is just for the just for the town employees.
Great, thank you. Any questions or concerns or comments from the board? Seeing none, all those in favor signify by saying aye. Aye. Any opposed, nay. Motion carries.
Item 11A, 2014-7, authorizing annual firearms qualification training to retired police officers pursuant to the Law Enforcement Officers Safety Act for the Arundecoit Police Department.
Can I have a motion?
Moved.
And a second? Okay, I'm going to call on Chief Tantello to give a brief explanation of the resolution.
This annual firearms qualification training program for retired police officers is pursuant to federal legislation. It allows for these retired officers to maintain their current skill set in the area of firearms qualifications. We would be providing them with a certificate to indicate that they have completed the program successfully and will be doing this on an annual basis. There is no cost to the taxpayers in the sense that the officers will be bringing their own equipment, utilizing their own ammunition, will be providing an on-duty range instructor to oversee the qualifications.
Thank you. Any questions or comments from the board?
Just a quick question, and how long is the training for?
It'll be within a one-day period.
Okay. Thank you.
Great. Any other questions? Seeing none, all those in favor say aye. Aye. Any opposed, nay. Motion carries.
Item 11A, 2014-8, authorizing purchase of 65 Glock duty pistols with trade-in.
Can I have a motion? And a second?
Second.
Chief, I think it's pretty self-explanatory, but just give a quick
Sure.
description.
After a number of years with our current service weapons, the police department, with the approval of the town, went to bid to determine what the market would bear in regards to this. Glock was awarded the bid. As a result of their bid, there is no cost because it will be a one-for-one swap. By purchasing the Glock 45 caliber service weapon, we will be trading in our current Smith & Wesson service weapons, and it is a one-for-one swap, so the cost is non-existent.
That's just the right price. Any other questions or concerns?
Chief, just for the record, how long was it since the firearms had been replaced?
It's been 7 years.
Thank you.
7 years. Okay.
Chief, just so, the bidding process is the manufacturer, not, you know what I mean? So Glock bid on this?
Well, the actual bid award went to Amchar,
Okay,
which
right.
is a Glock vendor in this
Okay.
particular area,
Okay.
yes.
Is there going to be some kind of, for the new weapons? Is there any training that's going to be needed, or these guys?
That's correct.
Okay.
When we receive the equipment from the vendor, we'll go through transitional training, which is traditional in the department,
Okay,
and that should last approximately 16 hours.
okay, thank you.
Any other questions or comments? No? All right, I just want to commend the police department for their work and the chief for his work on this. I know this took quite some time and effort to be able to get this through the purchasing process and get this done, so good work. All those in favor signify by saying aye. Aye. Any opposed, nay. Motion carries.
Item 11A, 2014-9, authorizing the supervisor to enter into a contract with the Animal Hospital of Pittsford.
Can I have a motion?
Moved.
And a second?
Second.
Okay, Chief, I'm going to call on you again.
Sure.
All right.
This is with our vendor, in this particular case, Animal Hospital of Pittsford. They've been selected as a result of the enhanced service that they're able to provide to us, especially in the area of caring for animals, if you will, during an emergency situation that many other vendors and animal hospitals are not able to provide. We've used them over the past several years. They have been a very reliable provider for us, and we have a good working relationship with them.
Great. Thank you. Any questions? Lori?
And they're affiliated with Irondequoit Animal Hospital, is that right?
Well, they're affiliated with many animal hospitals because of the, if you will, extensive treatment that they are able to give that many local animal hospitals are not able to do so. So they're a referral for them.
Referral, okay. Thanks.
Any other questions? Seeing none, all those in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Aye. Any opposed, nay. Motion carries.
And now I see it's 7:35.
Fantastic.
Public hearing.
Go ahead and read.
PH 11A 2014-1 in the matter of amending Town Code Chapter 235, Article 21, signs and tables A, B, C, and D.
Can I have a motion to open the public hearing? And a second?
Second.
All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Any opposed, nay. Motion carries. Okay, this is an additional public hearing on the amendment to the town's sign law. We've had a number of public hearings previous to this, but we made some minor adjustments to the language, I think, to make the law more clear and enforceable, so we wanted to just put it back out to another public hearing to make sure members of the public had all the, had an opportunity to give us their feedback and give us all the information before we act on the law. Was there anybody here? I didn't see anybody signed up to speak. Did anybody want to come forward and speak to this at the public hearing? Nobody? Okay, seeing none, I'd ask for a motion to close the public hearing. In a second?
Second.
All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Any opposed, nay? Motion carries. The public hearing is closed.
Item 11A, 2014-10, authorizing the supervisor to enter into an intermunicipal agreement for New York State snow and ice for the 2015-2016 season.
Can I have a motion?
Moved.
And a second?
Second.
I'm going to call on Commissioner Pat Meredith from the DPW to give just a quick description of the resolution.
Yeah, this is just a standard resolution that we do each year, authorizing the supervisor to sign the agreement with New York State DOT so we can get our reimbursements for the snow and ice maintenance that we do on the roads during the wintertime. The amount that we are currently going to be reimbursed is lower than it was a couple years ago, and that's based upon averages that they use. I did a little bit of research, and back in 2011-12 season and the 2012-13 seasons, we had a very light winter. So we're still looking at a reimbursement that's less than it was back in the 2011-2012 season because we had a heavy winter prior to that. So we will eventually see that rate, I think, over the next couple of years climb, because I'm anticipating that after last winter that we had and the forecast for this winter, it's going to be more than what we had those light years. So that's it in a nutshell. I do expect that in the future years we will see that lane mile dollar amount increase.
Thanks, Patrick. Any comments or questions from the board? Seeing none, all those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Any opposed, nay. Motion carries.
Item 11A, 2014-11, authorizing the calling of a public hearing in the matter of Consolidated Sewer District Extension, 524 List Avenue.
Can I have a motion?
Moved.
In a second?
Second.
Again, Commissioner Meredith, can you just give a brief explanation of the resolution?
Yeah, next month, we're calling for a public hearing for next month. Essentially, we're going to be discussing the home at 524 List Avenue that is having some issues with their septic system. They would like to, they're requesting to enter into the Consolidated Sewer District so that they can tie their home into the public system and abandon the septic system that they have now.
Great, thank you. Any questions or comments from the board? Seeing none, all those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Any opposed, nay. Motion carries.
Item 11A, 2014-12A, authorizing the adoption of the operating budget for the year 2015.
Can I have a motion? And a second? Thank you. Does any board members have any questions, comments that they'd like to make about the budget?
Just briefly, first of all, I want to commend the supervisor and actually our comptroller and staff as well for putting this together. This is my rookie year, but it's also Adam's rookie year, and he had a very good grasp on this, and it was very seamless, and he was a seasoned vet at the process, and as well as his grasp on the town's finances. And the one thing I'll just point out in the budget is the zero tax increase. That is, it's impossible to overstate how important that is. We're in a town where we're constantly trying to be competitive with other towns, and we have a long way to go where we're competitive with other towns, but the fact that we've kept the tax rate flat is very important, because everywhere we go, that's what we hear from people, is its property taxes are too high. So this is a commitment to keeping those taxes flat. But by the same token, we're doing so that in a transparent manner. And I got to say, some other towns aren't keeping their tax rate flat. And it just shows you the struggles and the pressures that are at work here. And other towns, I think, aren't being as transparent with how they're coming up with their possible flat tax rate. And I just commend Adam for doing this in a way that doesn't institute one-time gimmicks. We don't, dip into our fund balance only nominally, but not to hold the tax rate flat. So I just want to commend Adam, and hopefully this will provide a strong foundation for years to come. So I'm happy to support it.
Thanks, Dave. Anyone else?
Yeah, I just want to kind of ditto with what Dave said, but commend the staff, their diligence and their commitment. I was really impressed at the cost efficiencies that were sought in every way, in creative ways to keep good services and the services people are used to and that they like in Arundecoid, and either keep them the same or make them better for next year, and keeping the tax rate flat. So the staff did a great job, I think, in every line of the budget. They knew exactly what they were after, what would be best. So thank you.
Thank you, Lori. Anybody else have a?
Okay.
Irina?
Yes, I believe it's a very well-crafted budget. The budget process starts in August, just so people understand that the supervisor requests and has meetings with different departments, and they utilize their great communication skills to come to some negotiating on the pros and cons of what should be included in the budget. So these discussions continue, and we as a board then meet extensively for a good week and discuss line-by-line items in the budget. And I believe we did a very thorough job this year, and asked those pertinent questions. So, yes, we should be commended for coming to, rational decision-making, and with a zero budget increase. I think that is, reflective of what we as a town board are requiring ourselves to put forth to our community. So I'd like to commend everybody, the department heads, for their cooperative efforts, and we'll have a great year next year. Thank you.
Thank you, Irina.
Yeah, just a comment. I've been through a couple budgets now under my belt, but it never ceases to amaze me, really. Without a tax increase, I know there's a lot of work involved in this, and that goes this year to Adam and the staff and Annie. Really, you guys craft up a really great budget. The services are still there, and it is extremely difficult to leave the tax rate where it is. It's been like that now for a number of years, and this is a good budget. It really is. It's solid, and again, like Dave said, not to raise taxes. That's what people really want to hear in town. We're not doing that, and I've been through a number of budgets, and every year things seem to be going, right now really well without raising taxes, and it's been really well. And I got to commend the staff a lot there too as well. And that's it. But to pass a budget with no increase is easier to do than one with one. So I support the budget.
Thanks, John. And I wanted to add a couple words about the 2015 budget. There's a few things this budget does that I'm particularly proud of, and I think is remarkable. The first one is the landmark investments that we're going to make next year to our recreation programs and our playgrounds and our parks. The second one is the implementation now, and the fully funding of the implementation of our Neighborhood and Business Development Department, which is really our economic development efforts to recruit new businesses to town, trying to grow our tax base and really keep the momentum going in this town from all this great new development that we've had this year and some of the successes that we've had. This budget fully funds that department and all those efforts. And, we saw all the great things that came out of that department earlier this year, from the building of the new Aldi's to the progress at I-Square to Sonic. This is the department that's largely working with the library to build this new library right here on the town campus, which we're all very incredibly proud of. The new Starbucks and Chipotle on Ridge Road. It just seemed we're having a lot of successes, the first comprehensive master plan in 30 years. So we're really seeing a lot of successes from there, and this budget fully invests and the good work they're doing. This budget also fully invests in our law enforcement. We've seen over the course, I've said this a number of times, over the course of the last several years, a reduction in the police force, which I think is a mistake. This board thought it was a mistake, and we've reversed that trend. We're adding now to the police force. We're giving them the tools and the resources they need to keep us safe, so that when we're trying to attract new businesses to town, we're trying to keep businesses here, we're trying to attract new families and provide opportunities for our residents, we can keep them safe. I truly believe that public safety is the cornerstone of everything else we're looking to do in this town. If we're looking to build our rec programs and our programs for our children, youth, and family, if we're trying to make this a town where our senior citizens can grow and our families can stay here as a town where our motto is a town for a lifetime. If we want folks to be able to stay and grow older with their children and grandchildren, if we want to attract these new businesses and grow our economic corridor, we have to be safe. That's the cornerstone of what we do. And we were able to do all of this, make all of these investments while holding the line on property taxes. We pay one of the highest property tax rates in Monroe County, and this budget recognizes that residents should not be asked to pay for more next year, and keeps a 0% tax increase in the property tax. So we're able to do all of that, make these targeted investments, I think, in the future of Irondequoit, and I couldn't be more proud, because we're able to do that, I think, with the help and dedication of all of our department heads and their staff and the work of the town board. I especially want to recognize our comptroller, Annie Seeley, and our HR director, Beth Watrow, and their staffs. We spent, with our department heads, really earlier this year, countless hours, and not really hours, days and days, looking through every line item of the budget, sitting with the staff, really preparing this document and investing all our time and efforts into it. And again, with the town board, meeting through our workshop meetings, we spent, I think I logged about 15 hours discussing the budget, going through line by line what was in there, and that's in addition to all that work we put in before that. So I really just want to thank them, particularly, like I said, Annie, Beth, and all the town board members and their staff for all the work they put into this, and I think on behalf of the public as well, because I think people are going to really, we're going to see some real progress made from the targeted investments that we're making in this budget. I also want to thank the public for all of their input at the public hearing, as well as from phone calls, emails, and all those stops on the street corner I get, and people talking about what's important in town, where should we be focusing our time, energy, and investment. So I want to thank the public for their engagement and their input as well. So, anybody have anything else to add to the budget before we vote? Seeing none, we had a motion and a second, right, Barbara?
Yes, we do.
All those in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Aye. Any opposed, nay. Motion carries.
Item 11A, 2014-12B, calling for a public hearing on the matter of amending Town Code to include Chapter 44, Town of Irondequoit, Recreation and Community Services Law.
Okay, before I ask for a motion, I'm going to just take this opportunity, because I need to introduce this amendment to the Town Code. This is because following the adoption of the budget, the board's next step needs to be to adopt a local law authorizing the implementation of parts of the budget and the reorganization that the board had just acted to fund. Therefore, I'm proposing this new Chapter 44 of the Irondequoit Town Code, titled Recreation and Community Services Law. And this resolution is scheduling the public hearing for the December meeting. Can I have a motion?
Moved.
And a second? Second. All those in favor say aye. Aye. Any opposed, nay. Motion carries.
Item 11A, 2014-13, calling for a public hearing on the matter of rezoning 2180 East Ridge Road.
Can I have a motion?
Moved.
And a second?
Second.
Okay. This resolution is the next step in the rezoning process for the library located on Ridge Road. If you recall, we accepted the application at last month's board meeting, and this is the next step in that process. We had a motion and a second. Any questions or concerns from the board? No? Again, this is scheduling the public hearing for the December board meeting. All those in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Aye. Any opposed, nay. Motion carries.
Item 11A, 2014-14, authorizing surety, form, and amount of official undertaking for the faithful performance of the duties of the town clerk and receiver of taxes and assessments.
Can I have a motion?
Moved.
And a second?
Second.
And I'd like to call on the town clerk or the town attorney to give us just a brief description of the resolution.
Okay, I have reviewed this resolution with the attorney. This is a resolution that we do every year in November, and I think it's just to keep me on my toes.
Yeah, that's right. This is, so to speak, this is the New York State
Support
town
this
law.
resolution.
That's exactly right, Barbara. This town law requires a tax receiver's bond be filed with the office of the clerk, and that the form and amount of the bond is to be directed and approved by the town board, and so that's what this resolution does. It allows us to continue functioning. We had a motion and a second. All those in favor, or any questions or concerns? Okay. All those in favor signify by saying aye. Aye. Any opposed, nay. Motion carries.
Item 11A, 2014-15, approving the Seabreeze 5th Annual Volunteer Fire Department's Winter Parade.
Can I have a motion? Moved. And a second? Again, this is the one I announced earlier in the meeting, that on December 20th from 6 to 8 o'clock is going to be the 5th Annual Winter Parade from the Seabreeze Volunteer Fire Department. Any questions or comments from the board? Seeing none, all those in favor signify by saying aye. Aye. Any opposed, nay. Motion carries. All right, that's the balance of the agenda. The next workshop meeting for the town board will be on December 11th, 2014 at 4 o'clock, and the next regular town board meeting is scheduled for December 18th, 2014 at 7 o'clock here at Town Hall. Without any other business, I'd entertain a motion to adjourn.
So moved.
In a second? All those in favor say aye. Aye. Any opposed, nay. Motion passes. We are adjourned.
We hope you enjoyed this presentation of the Irondequoit Town Board on ICAT 12, Irondequoit's government access channel.